Here's the methodology for any question about what Judaism has to teach. Anything, it doesn't make a difference. Sukkot, any holiday, any mitzvah, and anything. What question, what yearning, what desire is the ritual, the mitzvah, the practice, the story a response to? If you don't understand the question, the yearning, the anxiety, the need, the dream, the hope, the fantasy, the fear, if you don't understand what the mitzvah is a response to, you will not be able to make the mitzvah, you will not understand what the mitzvah is doing, and more than that, you'll probably use the mitzvah as low-level identity politics. Okay? So that's the methodology. So when you say sukkah, all you have to do is to ask the question, what is sukkah a response to? And then it's so easy. The first Gemara on this teaches us about sukkah. The first story about Sukkot in the Torah does. Here's what it does. Do you ever feel vulnerable in your life? If you can ask that question, sukkah's for you. Do you ever feel vulnerable in your life? Well, the answer to everybody is, yes, I feel vulnerable. Great. How do you make yourself more secure? Bigger bank account? Yeah, that does help, although in an economic crisis you recognize how impermanent that is. Bigger house? Yeah, that's truth is I feel a little bit stronger. Great. Okay, I get that. Well, it turns out that all of those are very, very important ways, the material ways to make us more secure in the midst of our vulnerability. But deep down, does that make you really secure? Really secure? No. There's security that comes from understanding that embracing our fragility itself, embracing the vulnerability itself, actually getting into the vulnerability like we walk into, and it's the only mitzvah where your whole body is incorporated. You walk into the sukkah. You walk into the vulnerability. You don't make believe life isn't impermanent. You don't make believe life isn't vulnerable. You don't make believe our lives aren't fragile. You get into it, and what do? You celebrate the vulnerability. You celebrate the fragility, and you say, oh yeah, right, okay, I'm not going to be able to live like this every day. It's very hard, but here's what I'm going to get into my consciousness for these 7-8 days. Vulnerability is mitigated by honestly embracing it and then recognizing if I hang out with my friends, if I know a little bit about my past heroes, that's who Spiezin, and I don't mean Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You don't have to be so crazy if you don't want to do that. But it's good to talk about your grandfather who died every so often and remember you're connected to him. It's good to mention your grandmother every single day or an uncle or aunt from your past generations. And to talk about that. It's good to have a drink with friends. It's good to sit outside and look up at the sky and say, it's funny. The truth is I can protect myself from the rain of life and the snow of life and the cold and wet and heat of life all as much as I think I can, the elements of life. But you know what? Bottom line, I'm still going to get rained on. I'm still going to be hot sometimes. But I can still make Kiddush. And if you don't want to make Kiddush, I get that too, because Sukkah's not for Jews. Sukkah's for anybody who wants wisdom about vulnerability. So for Jews, maybe they make Kiddush, and then we'd have to say, what is Kiddush a response to? But for another people, you know how healthy it would be if once a year, everyone in America sat in a tent that made them feel a little vulnerable, and what they knew was, oh my God, no pun implied, oh my God, I know I'm vulnerable, but it's okay. I got my friends. I got food to eat. I can laugh in the face of the craziness and absurdity of life.